Episode 9 is right around the corner, and with it comes a full rank reset and a fresh start to try and get a new rank and a new peak. That being said, I'm going to give you the 5 best tips that I could possibly give you from all my time of playing, and also a bonus tip that will be randomly scattered in this video, so make sure to watch the entire thing if you want that bonus tip as well. So I'm not gonna waste any time, I'm gonna get straight into the first one, and the first one is more of a mental thing than anything, and that is to set a goal. I don't know how much I could emphasize making a goal before you start towards trying to do something. It could help in so many ways. Just having that goal and setting it and visualizing what you want to achieve helps in the long run so much at trying to figure out what you need to do to improve and to get towards that goal and the steps that you need to take, really. So say maybe you're in silver, you could choose to just go up one division. Maybe you want to try and achieve silver 3. Or alternatively, you could be silver and you want to get towards gold. Either way, set a goal that is realistic at least. Don't set a goal that you know you can't really achieve, or you won't have the time to, or that you just possibly couldn't. I mean, if you're silver, it's very unlikely that you're going to go from silver to radiant in the span of 6 months. You'd have to be the best, most talented player I've ever seen. You'd be a natural, an absolute natural. So don't set a goal that silver to radiant, but set a realistic goal that you know you could achieve and that you want to achieve as well. Especially, you gotta want to get it. So for me personally, I peaked Immortal 3 last episode. Finally, it took long enough, but now my only goal is radiant. I've peaked Immortal 3. There's nothing really else above other than being radiant. So I'm gonna work towards getting that radiant, even if it takes the whole episode, and I'm gonna find the ways that I can improve and try and get that goal by the end. And this is the same for everyone else. Just set that goal and find ways to improve towards that goal, no matter how long it takes. Just work towards that goal and have that goal in mind so you can be solid in what you want to achieve and what you want to get out of this episode. So the next one is very much about consistency, and consistency is obviously very good because if you're consistent, you're going to win more, and if you win more, you're going to rank up. So this one is pick 2 agents max. Now you could pick 1 agent, you could pick 2 agents, or you could at maximum, I would suggest as an absolute limit, 3 agents. Now the reason picking a small amount of agents is a good thing is because it lets you learn the character and learn the playstyle and learn the mechanics of a set amount of characters in a small pool that'll let you be more consistent. You would rather be very, very good at a few things than being good at everything. Because if you're good at every agent, you're not really the best at anything. You're just kind of average at most things. So picking a few agents and learning that makes you more consistent. It makes you have more room to have improvement and mastery over a small amount of agents and a small amount of type of gameplay rather than everything. So again, personally, I'm going to be playing Jet and Clove only, mostly Clove actually over Jet. I'll be playing Clove and Jet mainly. And I may extend this out to Neon sometimes as a maximum. But yeah, picking 2 agents or 1 or maximum 3 makes you more consistent and it'll help you win more in the long run. It doesn't even have to be in the same roles as well. You could just pick 2 in different roles, or it could be in the same role. Just 2 agents you really have fun with, that you really like playing, and learn them, pretty much. Just learn them and be consistent with them. So the next one's a lot harder to improve on, and is a lot more difficult than the last 2 that I've talked about, and that's finding your weaknesses and improving on it. Now this isn't something that's very easy, it is easier said than done, but if you're able to try and look back on the games that you've played, look back on the gameplay, even record it and VOD review, just watch it back, and try and find the weaknesses that you have, the mistakes that you make, the improvements that you need, you'll find it a lot easier to get better and get towards your goal. Now this doesn't mean to say that watching your weaknesses should demotivate you. You should just identify them and work on them slowly. Don't work on them all at once. By all means, please don't work on them all at once. Work on one thing specific, work on a specific thing and improve on that, and when you feel like you're ready, move on to the next thing. And that's how you climb slowly and how you get better slowly towards getting towards a goal. It's not about taking big leaps. If you take big leaps, you will probably just fail at anything that you want to achieve. It's about taking small steps and improving upon them and slowly building a foundation and fundamentals and then moving on and progressing and getting better. I haven't been playing for like a day and I got to Immortal 3. It took me 2 years almost. I've been playing for almost about 2 years. It didn't take me a day. It took me 2 years and all these hours. So working on things slowly over time and having patience, you will get towards the goal that you want to have, or the goal that you've set, or what you want to do. Just make sure that you try and look back and identify on the things that you are making mistakes on, especially the ones that you're making mistakes on the most and consistently, and improving on them. Some people struggle at this, so they might try and go out and get coaching. If you really need coaching, or if you really need help from another person, then by all means, if you have the means to, do that. If you really want to climb, do that and go find somebody who does coaching, or find somebody who can help you with it and help you with your mistakes, but try and do it on your own first. It's a lot better if you do it on your own first, because you're not having someone else tell you what's wrong and what to do, rather you're identifying it yourself, which makes it easier for you to do it in the future and do it more often and do it further down the line. But if you really do struggle with it, try and find someone else to help. Personally, I never did. I never got coaching. I just did it all myself and I did it over time. So, like I said, if you do, just find someone. If you don't, that's better and it's going to be more helpful. But yeah, quick little bit just in between the tips here. I am going to try and post more content that's aimed around helping people improve throughout the next episode, so if you want to know when those come out, I would recommend hitting the subscribe button and putting notifications on. It helps me out, it helps you out, I appreciate it a lot, and it's a win-win, but hopefully that should be happening, so I would recommend it if you do want some content around improvement and tips on how to improve. So yeah, the next tip, honestly, is just to focus on winning. I see a lot of people when they play, they get very focused on things that are both out of their control and kind of not. This could be in the form of like focusing on your teammates. Maybe they're playing bad, maybe you just have trash teammates, or maybe it's consistent, maybe you have trash teammates a lot, and they get focused on those teammates and on how they're playing. Maybe they get focused on things that happen in the game, maybe you get unlucky, maybe something just happens. Maybe even you just lose, like you lose the match and you tried your best but you couldn't do anything about it, and you focus on how you couldn't do anything and your team were trash, everything was going wrong, and so on. So the biggest tip here is that you should just focus on your own gameplay and your own self and just playing the game. It becomes very frustrating and you'll get burnt out and you'll actually play worse the more you focus on your teammates. So honestly, you should really just focus on yourself and on how you play and how you can improve. And if you lose, you lose. If you win, you win. There's nothing you could do about it other than improve yourself. There's no point focusing on it. There's no point focusing on matches that have happened and in the past, especially. So just don't focus too much on your teammates. Don't focus too much on the enemy. Don't just focus on adapting, improving, getting better, and winning round by round. It'll help so much more. You'll get tilted so much less. Honestly, I see it all the time, people getting tilted about things that they can't even control. Even I've been tilted at things I can't control for a long time. I was very, very tilted about like teams and stuff because teams feel horrible in Valorant for the most part. But honestly, I started to see so much improvement when I started focusing way more on myself and how I can improve and win. And there was so much less tilt and it became a lot more fun to play overall, especially. So just don't focus too much on the things that you can't control. Just focus on you, yourself, and improving and playing and having fun. Which actually leads me on to the final tip. But before I do the final tip, I do want to put in the bonus tip here. And the bonus tip is going to be only play when you feel up to it, which kind of links in with the last one as well anyway. But basically, only play when you feel up to it. Don't tilt queue. That's like the big one that a lot of people think about. Don't tilt queue. A lot of people tilt queue and then they keep queuing and they keep queuing and they think that they're gonna win and they think that they're gonna win and they want to try and get all their stuff back, all their lost elo, and they keep queuing and they just keep losing and they keep losing and they keep queuing. Don't queue if you are tilted. You'll just keep losing. When you're tilted, you play worse. So don't tilt queue, or just log off for the day, or even for a few hours. Just log off and don't play and just chill. Because you're gonna play worse when you're tilted, but also, it's not a life or death situation. You can earn back the elo that you lost in the next few hours, or you could earn it back the next day. Just because you lost now doesn't mean that you're gonna lose tomorrow, especially if you try and improve on what the things that you did wrong are. I mean, there's been countless times where I've lost like 100 elo, I've D-ranked, and then the next day or maybe a day after, I've gained all that elo back and I've actually gained more than I had before and I peak higher. It's very much about patience, but the big thing is that people tilt you a lot and then they get frustrated and then they start playing worse and they get hard stuck because they get so focused on everything else. So don't play when you're tilted. But another thing that people don't think about, and it's more of like a sub element, basically don't even play if you don't feel like playing. Don't feel like you have to play. I think quite a lot of people feel like they have to play because they want to gain elo and they want to improve, and they feel like an obligation to need to play in that day at least a few matches to try and like improve or keep the consistency. Don't play if you don't feel like playing, because when you don't feel like playing, you also don't play at your best because you don't feel like playing. I mean, there's no point playing if you're just gonna like quit or mentally quit halfway through. There's no point, you're just gonna lose. So only play when you feel like you want to play and you want to win. At the end of the day, there's always tomorrow to improve or to gain that elo back. So just focus on yourself and only play it when you feel up to it. And that basically just leads into the final tip, and it is probably the most important one, to be honest. Have fun. Honestly, that's honestly the biggest thing that you need to employ, is just having fun. Because when you don't have fun, you won't climb, you won't improve, and you will be hard stuck. That's how you get hard stuck, by not having fun and being tilted constantly and feeling like the game is against you. So the biggest thing I could say is have fun. It's meant to be fun. That's the whole point. You're meant to have fun, and it's a game. You're playing for fun. So not only should you aim to improve if that's your goal, and aim to climb and aim to get a rank, you should also just have fun. Like, there's nothing really else to say about it. When you don't have fun, when you get tilted, you will not climb. It is just, I've played so many hours of this game and I cannot stress enough that is the case. You will not climb if you just don't have fun. It's all meant to be fun, and you should be playing for fun in the first place. Otherwise, why are you playing? Just don't play at that point. Go play something else, that'll be chill for you. So yeah, that's like the biggest 5 tips that I could possibly give, plus the bonus tip. So thank you everyone who watched through the whole thing. Honestly, I'm trying to do more longer stuff. I have been doing a lot of short stuff recently, but I want to do more talky, longer stuff, so this was an attempt after a year. Actually, I did 5 tips a year ago, but that was a year ago and probably outdated everything that I said, or at least most of the stuff I said. I was like Ascendant back then, so I'm Immortal 3 now, I have more to say. But I also don't want to say too much where the video is too long. But anyway, so thank you everyone who watched. Please sub, like, I'm going to try and post more improvement type stuff in the future once this episode starts, tomorrow, Wednesday, whatever. But yeah, I hope everything in this video helped, and I hope you reach the goal that you want to get in episode 9.